It's devastating.
The first time Kelly Jones saw her daughter this way was in a children's hospital. She was 14.
They come and they shackle her up, and that was when I lost it. They put her in shackles and took her to the detention center. It was a scene. I was hysterical.
Especially because just before her daughter was arrested, Jones thought she'd lost her.
She was on a respirator for about 4 days. The nurse said that she would not make it. We had literally called in our family from out of town. Like, we were not expecting her to live.
A fentanyl overdose fueled by a violent sexual assault from a stranger. But the reason Jones's daughter was arrested was because on the day she was assaulted, she'd run away.
They charged her with a felony for escaping from her mother.
It was not the first time she'd run, and it would not be the last time she'd be arrested for it.
She's been in juvenile detention.
Kelly Jones says her daughter has been assaulted and recovered from sex trafficking multiple times. Running is her trauma response, a cycle of addiction, stints at treatment centers, and this.
The belt, the shackles, the everything. And that took a lot to get my mind wrapped around that this is their protocol.
Because despite being a victim of trafficking and assault and an addict, the child left home voluntarily. And in Texas, that is against the law.
This is one of the more laws that still exist in this state.
On September 1st, 1973, a law went into effect in Texas defining the voluntary absence of a child from his home without consent as conduct indicating a need for supervision. Then, in 1995, lawmakers used that language to define running away and made it a status offense. And that wording has not changed in more than 50 years.
We've had so much more research come out since then, and we have, quite frankly, new problems that we weren't dealing with back then.
Byron Sanders was the president of Big Thought, a Dallas-based youth advocacy group, for nearly 7 years.
This is a huge trapdoor toward trafficking. This is a place where people who are experiencing abuse at home suffer tremendously, and then they get re-traumatized.
Federal law prevents states from putting kids in secure facilities like jails for status offenses like running away. But states are allowed an exception when a court order is violated, meaning they can't put a kid in jail for running away, but they can detain them for running away after a judge ordered them not to.
So she had taken off.
In Kelly Jones's case, each time her daughter has been taken to juvenile detention, it was for violating probation by running away, including a time where she was assaulted after leaving a safe house where she was ordered to stay.
Even though she was trafficked, she ran from the safe house, so that's escape. So she goes to the hospital. She goes to the psych ward. Again, they come, they detain her, they pick her up, and she goes to juvenile detention for 2 more months.
We're one of the few that still does this in the country.
Data from the Texas Juvenile Justice Department shows that each year, hundreds of Texas kids are arrested and taken to detention centers for running away, and hundreds more are arrested and taken to non-secure residential facilities. Through an open records request, I found that more children in Dallas County are referred to the state's juvenile justice system for running away than in any other county in the state, including Harris County, which is the state's most populated county. Now, these referrals have dropped significantly since the pandemic in 2020, but even last year, Collin and Denton counties referred more than twice as many children for running away than Harris County.
So I think there was a well-intentioned belief behind, if we create a status offense, it's additional leverage for a family to be able to say, hey, come on home, let's work this out. But I think we need a more expansive definition of a runaway young person.
For advocates, this approach is the foundation for a stigma that not only creates a barrier to urgently searching for missing children, but it creates a space for vulnerable, traumatized kids to be seen as criminals.
It's such a detriment to survivors that we would lock them up and kind of fuel the lie that this is their fault.
Lindsay Speed runs Traffic 911. The group that law enforcement calls to help recover child sex trafficking survivors around North Texas.
We do see a lot of the young people we serve get locked up after recovery from trafficking. And it's confusing how they're able to lock them up with a runaway type of offense, but we see it a lot.
Kelly Jones has spent hours looking for her daughter when she was missing and seeing her whenever she can once she's been found, even if it's like this.
She's going to make mistakes. Does that mean we put her back in jail? And these are our children. We're here to fight for them. And if we don't, we're going to continue to see the results that we do every day.